So I put Mr. on there for a reason. I am currently being called Mr. McDunnell on a daily basis because after a 5-year trek, I am finishing my master's degree and doing student teaching at Kennerdale High School. It's been a long road, but I'm right where I need to be, and I'm absolutely loving it. We all had that teacher at some point in our lives who just absolutely inspired us with a love of their subject and made us believe we could do more than we ever thought we could, and just gave us a passion. And this story is not about one of those teachers. This is about a very, very different teacher. I was at Towson University, and I was very excited to have signed up for a creative playwriting class. And even better, I was taking the class with my girlfriend at the time, so I had a good friend in the class, and we went into the class, and the first day of class, the teacher, who was a master's degree student at that time, gave us the outline of exactly how we were supposed to creatively write a play. Point by point by point, exactly what he expected was a complete outline, which I'm a pretty easygoing person, and I was like, well, that wasn't what I expected, but I'll roll with the punches. My girlfriend, however, is, at this point, a passionate warrior who refuses to accept this, and got into at least a 15-minute argument with the teacher on that first day about how that's not encouraging our creativity in playwriting. And at one point, she says to him, "Now wait just a minute." And you hear this growl come out of him. He says, "No, you wait just a minute." And he slams his fist down on the desk. And the entire classroom just goes silent. Because we all knew he'd crossed a line that he shouldn't have crossed. But that set the tone for the rest of the semester between my girlfriend and the teacher. They were constantly at odds, fighting with each other, just this acerbic relationship between the two of them. Now fast forward, and we're coming up on the final exam. The creative playwriting class does not actually have a final exam where we would sit down and take a test. The final exam was we had to turn in our play that we had written. And he was very adamant and had told us from day one in the syllabus that it had to be turned in by the starting time of the official exam. And if it was not turned in, we would receive a 0 for the class. He would erase everything else in the grade book. You flunked the class. You'd have to retake it if you wanted to, but you were going to flunk. So it's the day before that exam, and I have completed my play. It's printed out. It's nicely bound. It's ready to go, and I'm relaxing because all my other exams are done, and I have just purchased a brand new video game that I was very excited about. It was called Unreal. Kids today would probably laugh at the graphics, but I tried to play the game. I couldn't because my computer couldn't handle the resolution that was necessary on my monitor. So I had to go and buy a new video card, and I bought a video card and came back, and I'm taking apart the computer, and my girlfriend says, "Matt, you can't take apart the computer. I haven't printed out my paper yet. I need to print it out first." I said, "Don't worry about it. I've done this a million times. I've built like 10 computers. I've swapped out video cards tons of times. If there's any problem, I just put the old one back in. Don't worry about it." So I take apart the computer, and I put in the new video card. I put it all back together, and I power it up, and there's nothing shows up on the monitor. I'm like thinking, well, shit, okay, not a big deal, not a big deal. So I take the computer apart, I put the old video card back in, I put it back together, and I turn on the power, and there is nothing on the monitor. So I go and get another old video card, and I put it in, there's still nothing on the monitor, and at this point it's about midnight. And my girlfriend's just standing behind me with like flames in her eyes, and there's smoke coming out of her head. So I finally come up with a plan. So the next day we show up about 10 minutes early to have a conversation with the teacher. And even though I had my report printed out, I told him that I did not. I told him everything that had happened and explained that we couldn't print these because we couldn't get the computer to run. The class was very early in the morning. There was no time to run out someplace and figure something else out. So we handed him the hard drive from the computer. Because we were giving him the plays. They were there. We'd help him get them off. We had them done. And my hope was that because it wasn't just my girlfriend whom he hated, it was also me who had somehow salvaged a good relationship, that he'd take it easy on both of us because he didn't want to fail 2 students over this. And he looked at us, and the good news is he let us submit our papers with a slight downgrade on the grade, and my girlfriend eventually became my wife. And if it had gone another way, I don't know what that would have done to our relationship. Who knows? And I will let you wonder as to whether or not I had actually brought the paper copy of my report as a backup for that day. Who knows?